Welcome back to this long overdue catch up. Craig, how we doing, mate?
Good. Look at this. How can you not be happy in the top like this?
Yeah, the new away kit, which I'm quite jealous about. I do want. And we're also joined by another Leeds fan, Johnny, who coincidentally is wearing that same top as well. I'm the odd one
Yes,
out.
I did not get the memo.
Looks like I didn't. But yeah,
Yeah.
obviously a lot's happened since we last recorded. Two players have joined, one is joining, one looks like he's out the door, and we've had a friendly today. So let's just get straight into the friendly and anything we learnt from it. Craig, obviously, Johnny, you were at the under 21s today. So, Craig, let's hear what you learnt, if anything, from it.
If anything.
Yeah.
If anything.
Well, go on then.
Yo, go ahead.
No,
Sorry, yeah.
You go first. You already started.
Not a great deal, to be fair. They were all just under 21s and 23s. They were it was a funny one. Definitely a game of two halves, 100%. I mean, we were all over them first half. Second half, we just backed off. They wanted it more. Historically, there's been loads of goals in that picture as well. So for it to be 1-1 was a bit disappointing. But heavens opened and it was just a bit too wet. Pitch weren't great. So yeah, didn't really learn much from it other than we've got a couple of good keepers that might get a look in next season. But that's about it, really.
Yeah,
But yeah,
guys.
not to write home about. It was just nice to be watching football again.
Yeah, the Guiseley match, wasn't it? So, obviously, good youngsters on there, and then we did have a few youngsters came on against Man United. Craig, what did you take away from the game, from the friendly?
Well, it's hard, isn't it, because it's a friendly, so that you can't read too much into it. But it was nice to see the new players on show, so you get to see how they can perform and play up against Premier League players, Premier League opposition. And in the first half, we held his own. I know it's a friendly, but we really did hold his own. And I mean, Bajol looked like really solid at the back. Byram started at left back, so Goodmanson didn't see till the second half, but Goodmanson does look promising. He loves to get forward and he likes to tackle. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops. Now as well, loves the tackle. He's good. Yeah, and I mean Bogle's performance. It's like I don't know if anybody sent him a message to tell him it were a friendly. It looked like he's auditioning for a World Cup place. That kid, man at match for me. But yeah, that was definitely a game of two halves. But that's to be normal in a friendly when you rotate the squad more or less fully. Etcher playing up front, big, strong, quick, played well. I think people are going to underestimate how good he can be if he stays fit. And then you've got Longstaff that came on. Oh, good to see him.
Yeah, two new signings, like you said, came off in the second half. Ramazani came on as well and looked promising. A lot of threats with his runs and stuff. His shooting was a little bit weak, but again, preseason friendly, it's all about your match fitness. Like you said, Bogle absolutely ran that show on that right-hand side. Nonto looked lively in parts, but it is Nonto at the end of the day. We all know how Craig feels about Nonto. So this is like his favourite player. But I mean, Ruben Amorim came up afterwards and said Leeds United pressed as well and kept the ball probably better than we expected. They will be very competitive team in the Premier League. So that's good to see that another manager of a Premier League side is saying it, regardless of how we feel about that side. But like you said, Goodmanson, his first game, for me, I felt like he made tackles when he had to, and he stood off a player when he had to. He just kept him in the corner, didn't rush in, didn't lunge in to make a silly foul. He stopped it. The cross came in, but it went off for a throw in. Yeah. There was another time when the ball came in, he went straight in, took the ball off him, got up. His underlying run, which then Ramazani had a shot on, was really, really well worked. So I think there's a promise there, obviously. I know a few online have said that they didn't look too pleased with him, but again, look at Bogle last season against Portsmouth. Everyone slated him and now everyone loves him. First game or two, just take it with ease. It will happen. Like I said, Bornau looked great as well when he came on. Bajol's an absolute unit. It's only going to get better.
Well, they're all. You got to remember as well that it's the first game together. Like they're not going to click straight away. they've only probably had an handful of training sessions together. I mean, Longstaff only came in yesterday.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so he's only been in. I mean, it got announced yesterday. I've probably been there a couple of days. But
No.
then I think we were there Thursday.
He was in Austria 24 hours beforehand, then flew to
Mm.
England, and then
Yeah.
flew to Sweden, all within
Yeah, but
24 hours.
I thought he'd done his medical Thursday.
Well, according to people that I'm seeing online, they said it was
Anyway,
24 hours.
I might be wrong. Anyway, we're not arguing about that. But anyway, they've only been an handful of training sessions between them all the new guys and last season's players. So for them to put a performance in that they did, even though it's a friendly, I mean, it's looking promising. Once that team gets gelling together, it's like I've always said, Farker, he's a good manager. You just got to give him the tools.
I agree. So obviously we touched upon Goodmanson, and Johnny, you didn't watch him, but what do you make of the signing of Goodmanson and Longstaff? We'll touch upon them now and then move on to the transfers.
Yeah, I'm really happy with Goodmanson. Like I said, I've not really seen him other than his highlight reel. I've heard he's more of an attacking sort of like left back sort of, a bit like what Firpo became, obviously. And Longstaff, yeah, love him. Just looks like a really top guy. Really happy he's joined. Let's say his first transfer ever. I saw the interview he did with Michael Bridges. It's quite a long one. But yeah, he came across really well. So yeah, I think he's going to fit in brilliantly. Everyone from Newcastle, like on my lives and that, are all saying just look after him. He's a top guy. So it comes with they hold him in high regard. So yeah, I'm really glad he's here, and for under 15 million as well. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Craig?
Yeah, Longstaff. You know that I wanted him since we were first linked with him. It's a great signing for us. But yeah, the same. I posted a video about him, like when we found out that it were going to get announced and it's over the line. And I've got that many comments, and I don't know, Leeds fans. I don't know what's happened to you, right? You were supposed to be the best at putting things out there, but Newcastle fans in my comments, unreal. Like, it's filled with Newcastle fans praising him, how good he is, what type of player he is, what he'll bring. And we saw it today. He is just does the job that he's there for, and he doesn't really put a foot wrong. If he does make a mistake, he goes and makes up for it. So he's very, very. He's gonna. I said in one of my videos, he's gonna elevate that midfield.
Yeah, there was a crazy start. I don't know if it's a crazy start or not, but within the last 2 years, he's covered the most distance in the Prem.
Yeah.
So it just shows what kind of player he is. Always gives it his all. As Leeds fans, that's all we get. That's all we ask for. Give it your all on the pitch. If you make a mistake, as long as you correct yourself or put a tackle in the next time, it's brilliant. I mean, we saw it today with the amount of tackles and the types of tackles that were going in. It wasn't soft. Like, they weren't friendly tackles. It was like dirty Leeds are back kind of thing, which is really good.
Yeah.
And then obviously with Statch as well, agreements in place. When that will be announced, who knows? Obviously medical coming in. Him as well with the amount of interceptions, blocks, clearances, all up there in the 90th plus percentile on FB Ref. So, Craig, let's hear your thoughts on Statch.
Again, he's a good, solid defensive midfielder, isn't he? But he'll do the running, he'll do the dirty. The ball, the amount of times he's won the ball, the stats for winning the ball is crazy. And the way that Fark likes to play is retaining that ball, and if we lose it, you need a player like that can win it back. Break up play a lot. Because I mean that's what Ampadu were him and Tanaka kind of did that role last season, were the players that broke up play a lot. But Stack's on a different level when it comes to that, and he's bringing the height as well. It's just, I mean, we're already looking like a good team, and with these extra additions, the only worry for me at the minute is if you put all these into the team, the first 11 looks great, but it's if injuries start coming is what's going to start worrying me. Because we saw today in the second half, you bring the youngsters on, you could see a massive difference in how we were playing. So that's the only thing. Because obviously we can't just go out and buy a full complement a full squad of players of new players because you just can't do it anymore. But
Nottingham Forest did it.
yeah, but it's hard to do, innit? It's like
Yeah.
That's the only thing that worries me. But if we can keep that first team fit, I mean, Gruev today played all right, played well, and he just went under the radar because everybody were watching, all the new guys, and he just went under the radar, but he did his job.
Yeah, but Grove's just amazing. He is such an underrated player, and I've already said that Longstaff would be that type of player that will go under the radar, but now I'm thinking that he's not going to, just because of how high praise we're getting from Newcastle fans.
I think this is where Stack will come in as probably the underrated player.
Potentially,
and it'll be Longstaff because from Newcastle fans, our hearing he's not a defensive midfielder. He's a box to box. He will get forward. He will get goals, and he's all over the pitch. So I'm looking forward to Stat coming in.
There is one little crazy stat about Stach that I'm going to read off from LUFC stats. If you're not following him on X, go and follow him. Anton Stach will become our first Anton, but our third with Anton in their name. That's crazy. Again, the amount of stats that he comes up with is incredible, and I love watching them. Yep, and then the other one is. Can you name him or not?
Just trying to think. Give me a clue.
First name starts with Eric.
Cantona.
I'm not saying that one. Yeah. I'm not saying that one. I know what you mean, but I'm not saying it.
Yeah, that's obviously it's got Anton in his name, so it's just really weird stats, but I like reading them. And if you like those kind of stats, go look at them. But there is another player that we were linked with, looked like it could potentially happen, which no longer is. So we are going to have to touch upon that. Igor Pajau, Craig. Yes. Obviously, let's hear your thoughts first.
Well, I was excited that we'd actually gone for him and put the project towards him, but for it to just turn around in within 24 hours that we've gone to see his representatives apparently, and then within 24 hours you're watching the new boys play against that lot in Sweden and give up a good performance, and then after the game you're hearing news of Pajav's going to Marseille and he's agreed to deal with them, and I'm like, I was excited to see that another Brazilian winger, an exciting one that gets forward and score goals and spectacular ones at that, and then lose out to Marseille, were they?
Exactly. Johnny, what's your thoughts on that whole thing?
Yeah, gutted as well, just because, like you say, it could have been another Rafinha. Not a Rocky Junior, but another Rafinha. And he takes a mean corner out here as well, and just the fact that we're stacking our team with such tall players, I was like, if we don't score a corner next season, I don't know what's wrong with us. But I mean, he would have been pivotal in that. I am a little bit gutted. Like you say, it's been a crest of good news over the last 24 hours, and then this has just kind of brought us down to earth a little bit. We'll move on to the next one. But I like that we went for him though. That's promising, very much so.
I mean, he came out and said that he's one of the targets that we're looking at. So it was never said that he was our top target anyway. He just said he's one of the long list we've got. So it'll be very interesting to see who we actually go for. I've seen one name being rumoured around on X. Again, I've only just heard this name today, so I'm not going to progress to know everything about him. In Bakwa, I think that's how I might have butchered it, but winger from Craig. Where's he from again?
From Strasbourg, and it's back
Strasbourg. Yeah,
back way. You even listened to how it was pronounced 5 minutes ago.
It is defensive 15 minutes ago, but
that's what he does. He does this, so he'll say how it should be, and then he'll say something completely different later on. So
it's because of my terrible lisps, and I can't actually pronounce names properly, as many people have. And my memory as well is absolutely shocking. I mean, look how I pronounced Kilavogi last season. So Johnny, do you know anything about this guy at all, or not?
No, unfortunately not this one. No, it's not on my radar. This one.
No,
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will be after this.
Well, I did a bit of research. I did a bit of research on him. He's a very skillful, tricky winger. with a good shot on him. A little bit like Rafinha, basically. Like
Right.
a
Cool.
little similar to that. In his first season at Leeds, I'd say. But
Yeah,
yeah, so don't get your hopes up that he's Rafinha now, but he's Rafinha from a while ago. But yeah, it's but like you said, Pajao was one of potential signings. How far up or down that list, we don't know. So it could have just been one that we were looking at and of a possibility, but there might be more targets that are higher up on that list that we actually want. So we'll see.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see who actually does come in, and if it is that guy, then I know a couple of people that I can get hold of that will tell me more, and I will definitely read up and look up more about him. But anything else there, Craig, before we move on to a departure that looks like it's definitely going to happen?
No, I'm going to just mention next is departures.
Yes, I mean, as much as Leeds fans butcher him, slate him, you've got to give him credit for what he has actually done. Farker has come out and said today that Bamford is no longer in his plans and that he could leave. Johnny, I'm going to go to you first on that. What are your thoughts when you saw that?
Shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. I was just like, I couldn't believe he wasn't in either of the teams today. And with all his training videos, he looks like he's in good shape. I was like, he can't be holding an injury, so it must be something. So yeah, I was shocked. I just didn't expect him to leave. I just thought maybe they're just resting him, perhaps, for the next couple of friendlies. Yeah, so I was pretty shocked when I saw that. To be fair, I didn't believe it at first because he's one of those players that I can see he's good to have around. Whether or not we keep him on just for that, which obviously we're not, but yeah, I was pretty shocked really. But I think he's still got something in him that he can maybe someone like I always say Wrexham because they've got a good project going on. And I know you were saying you favour someone like Birmingham or even America, and I think he has said in the past he does like the sound of America. So yeah, we'll see what's next for him. But I don't know if anyone's interested in him or not at the moment.
Craig, what about you, mate?
Well, my thoughts on Bamford is he frustrates me at times, but he's good. Like when he's good, he's good, and I don't think anybody can deny that. Like every manager he's played under picks him over anybody else. So he is when he's like even Fark said today that he wished he had a fit Bamford so that he could, he would be his top player. But yeah, he unfortunately the last couple of years has not been great to him, and it's time to move on. He's not part of his plans for the Premier League. But one thing I will say is he did say like it'll be good for someone. He needs to be the main man somewhere, and like I say, I think he will. Like it would be good for teams like Wrexham or say Hull or like Birmingham maybe. But I don't think Birmingham because they've got that young lad there, aren't there? That's pretty good. But yeah, like Wrexham or Hull or somewhere like that, it'd be good. But I do think he's going to go to he'll go to an American team. He's got family in America that and he said that he would like to go and play over there at some point. But yeah, well done, thank you, and goodbye. But that's all I could say about him. But I think that something might have been picked up in it. As much as he's bulked up, something might have been picked up in his medical report when he's come back from pre-season to say that, look, it's a bit risky. And that's why we can't risk having you. Because we want to, we're bringing in Mecha. We're going to bring in hopefully another striker. Which, saying publicly that Bamford can leave and he's not in his plans, to me, tells me 100% we've got a striker in the pipeline.
Hopefully, which we will touch upon in a second. I'll ask you both who you want. But for me, with Bamford, he hasn't been that player since we got relegated from the Prem or even the season before during lockdown. And yes, okay, injuries have played a part of it. Yes, when he's come back from injury, he has shown that he's got his quality. But we can't rely on that. We can't rely on, injuries may... Like, he's an injury-prone person. He's coming towards his latter end of his career now. We do need to move on to someone fresh. Yes, thank you for everything that you've done when you got us promoted the first season back in the Prem. Thank you for all of that. But it is time to move on. I've said it for the last couple of seasons now. As harsh as it is, and that's not me saying I don't like him or I like him. I'm not progressing anyway. He's a decent player on his day. But for me, that day has passed. So, I mean, Farker told him beforehand anyway. So before he came back from pre-season that he wasn't in his plan. So he's obviously told him for a while. He's obviously bulked up in the hopes of getting a new club. So for me, those photos are to impress another club.
Possibly,
That's not to impress Farker. Because there was a video, I think it's on the Daily Mail on X, so you'll probably find it online, of Daniel Farker's interview all about him anyway, and exactly what he said. So he has known about it for a while. So for me, I always thought that he was going to go anyway. I think it's no surprise that he's going. But
no, like you say, it's there's a time to leave a club, isn't there? Like Firpo has, for example, like left at the right time when before it, and I think if Bamford does stay for another season, it's just going to damage his reputation more. Not with all the fan base, but with a lot of it. So
yeah, I agree. So before we get on to the next potential departure, Johnny, who would you like to come in as a replacement or the number one striker for Leeds?
Come back to me. You go first, Craig, because I'm going to have to get some inspiration from you.
well, I mean, this is another one of those. We had this question before, and it's like realistically about goalkeepers, and it's like a realistic goalkeeper or the dream keeper that I would like. Now, realistically, I'd love them to bring in Munez because that's the one that we've been linked with. But I have seen another link today from Mark Gui for however I probably butchered that name from Chelsea. So that's another forward that we've been linked with. So. And I'm sure we did get linked to him earlier on in the window, like right at the beginning. But he's come up today as possible that we've. I don't know how true it is that we've entered negotiations with his camp, but that's another link anyway. But yeah, Munez would be the number one, I think.
Yeah, we were linked with this guy Uche, or we at least inquired about him from Spain. Again, looks quite decent player from what I've seen. What I've seen online from other people, creators and stuff, saying that he would be a decent talent to have. I'm not going to sit here and progress anything. Again, he's just a name that's come up, but inquiry, but he's got a 25 million release clause, so it's whether or not the club will go back in for him. Again, the one that I want at the moment as it stands is Munez. I think he would fit quality. I think he would be quality for us, especially with the way that Pirro played when he came on, when he dropped deeper and picked up the ball and pushed forward with the ball. I thought he looked really, really well.
Yeah.
And if he had like a Munez in front of him, doing a 1-2 with him or laying off Munez behind the defenders, I think that would actually be a solid partnership. So for me, Munez is the one that I want, but whoever we get, I'll back Farker.
Well, I think Munez is probably the most gettable target at the minute. The one that I really wanted earlier on, and I probably still do if I want to be greedy and get both of them, it'd be Guessing. I'd love to have Guessing.
No, I know you would. Johnny, any names?
Any inspiration? No. Well, it did come to me with Munez just as you were talking about him. Obviously, we were linked with him, and then it looked like it had gone dead. I remember a lot of chatter about him. Surprised to see his name come back up. I've not really looked too much into it, but yeah, I think he'd definitely be a good signing. There was a Nigerian player as well. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah.
A winger / striker. He looked decent. He looked quick. I don't know if you know any more on that, but we were. There were talk of him anyway.
That's Uche. I was just talking about the one that 25 million one. I mean, the only other winger that I would really love to get, but I don't think we're going to, is Schweitzkin from Anderlecht. Again, how realistic that would be to get, who knows? But I think, again, he's only 20 years old. So, again, you can have him for the future. I think he would be a decent little player to have. But going back to departures, there have been some interest in Ilan Meslier starting to pick up. Nothing's reached firm offer, like no one's had an offer yet. But obviously, with us looking for a new keeper, do you reckon he goes, or could he be used as a number 2, Johnny?
I think he'll go. I don't think he'd. No, I just can't see him as a number 2. I've kind of resigned myself to him leaving. I'm just kind of waiting for the news flash. But there doesn't seem to be any talk or anything like that. But yeah, because then obviously it might be like we might have one lined up, and then all of a sudden you see Melier leave, just a bit like the way Bamford and stuff like that. But yeah, it means Darlow would potentially be number one then as well. So I'm not too sure. I think the goalkeeper's probably going to be the last piece of business, which is a bit annoying because that's the thing that we need the most. So, but it keeps us all watching, doesn't it, until 18th. So, yeah.
Craig?
Yeah, I mean, today, Darlow played well. Melier played well. Like, it's... I know you've got that sour taste in your mouth from, like, last season and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, there's going to be a time when they do kick on and they do progress. And, you know, if I don't know if it's going to be a priority for them, to be honest. I think it would be towards, like I said that before, that it's going to be towards the end of the window when that gets sorted, because I don't think it's a massive priority for them. I think they could start the season with either goalkeeper that played today, and I'd be quite happy with it, to be honest.
Yeah, we spoke about it on the last episode. What keeper should we go for? Milinkovic-Savic is the one that both you and I wanted, Craig, but it looks like he's gone or going to Napoli, which is a bit of a shame. But again, is he going there as number one or number two, considering they've got Alex Maret, who is, again, in my opinion, one of the best keepers in Europe, especially in Italy.
Yeah. So you got Perry.
Again,
you got Perry and is it Lamens? How you say it?
Yeah, he's linked with us, but he's also linked with them lot as well over the Pennines. So we'll see if we get him or not. But yeah, is there anything that you two would like to add before we end this episode? Johnny, I'll go to you first.
Not really. I guess I'd like to know your thoughts on Harrison's appearance today and how you felt about that. Was it a shock? Was it as much as shock of Bamford not being in?
No, it wasn't a shock to me at all.
No.
I agree. I don't think it was a shock to see him, because I thought Farke. We spoke about this, haven't we, Mike? That Farke will want to have a look at him because he's not seen him.
Yeah.
So he'll want to have a look at him.
I mean, he come out and said afterwards as well that it's down to him whether or not he shows that he wants to be here, shows that he wants to actually fight for the badge. And like I said, if you want to fight for the badge, then that's fine. Am I going to forgive him? And to be fair, he done what most footballers would have done. He had a clause in his contract that stated if we get relegated, he can go out on loan. Someone came in for a loan offer, he left. Yeah. Yes, what his mum said was bang out of order, but that was his mum. So you got to think about it. And yes, I know they're related and all of that, but he wants to be playing top league football, not in the Championship. So you've got to... I'm trying to think of this from a footballing point of view here, not from a biased Leeds fan point of view, trying to take that out of the situation, because if I was just thinking about that, I'd be like, no, get rid of him, he's gone, he needs to leave. There is still a player there. If we can get a better player in, then by all means, ship him off. Yes, his crossing did look rather slack today, I'll give him that, but his touches were okay, trying to get back, trying to win the ball. He was doing all of those things which we all know that he can do from his first stint before we went up in the Prem and the first season in the Prem. Do I want him? No. But I can understand why Farke wants to evaluate the situation.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I've always said, haven't we, that I think he'll want to look at him and see how he is. Is anybody going to take him? You know, it depends on whether it's actually worth getting rid of him or not just yet. But like I said, if we can get a better winger in, by all means, you know, I won't want him. I want him to go for his own good, if anything. Because if he has a bad season, the pressure's going to get to him too much. I think, like we said earlier about it's time to go. I think for Harrison, it's time to go. I know Farke will give him a chance. If he says he wants to stay and fight for the badge, you know, go and show it on the pitch. I'll get behind you. If you go and do it, I'll get behind you. But if your heart's not in it, mate, just go.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts then, Johnny?
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked him, and like you said just then, you know, he had a clause. He did exactly what his clause says he could do. I mean, we've loads of people on my live always jump in and say, "How can you forgive him?" and stuff like that. It's like, well, yeah, but it's not too dissimilar to we've forgiven Nonto. He didn't want to play for the club. You know, Warber's come back. He left because he didn't want to play Championship football. So, yeah, like Craig was saying, if you get behind the badge, you want to play for the badge, yeah, just do the talking on the pitch for me. But yeah, I think if he does leave, I can for some reason can see him at Bournemouth. I don't know if it's because a lot of our midfielders go there, but yeah, Bournemouth or Brentford, because they're shipping out all their best players out of this. Yeah, he'll probably just become a squad player at someone like them if he was to leave. But I can see him staying in Premier League, definitely.
It's kind of clever, isn't it, Farke, how he words it by saying that if he wants to fight for the badge, he can have a chance. But if he doesn't, then they'll let him go. Because Farke don't want players that if you don't really want to play for Leeds, he don't want you there. You'll not play. And Farke's shown that. If he don't like you, he'll not play you. So
Interesting that you just mentioned how Farke talks then. So it is another quote about a player which, again, we have had a bid with an option to buy, which was rejected for Mateo Joseph. And he come out on the transfer situation saying, let's see what the outcome is. We want to keep our best players at this level. I've also learnt to never say never. There is no doubt Mateo is a player I really rate. We will see how the next weeks develop. Time will tell.
It's all in between the lines, isn't it? It's all in between the lines.
With that, you can take that multiple ways. Like, you want to keep your best players, but does that mean then the player wants to leave? Does that mean that you're willing to accept a loan bid, but you don't want to sell him? There's so many different ways that you can interpret that situation.
It's a diplomatic way of saying that, though, that because he's never going to come out and say a player's rubbish and he don't want him. He's never going to say that. So saying something like in those along those lines, you could read between those lines whichever way you want, and people interpret it different ways, and that's fine. But yeah, he's very smart, Farke, in the way that he words stuff.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Johnny, do you think Mateo Joseph will still be here in September the 2nd?
Yes. Yeah. I think he will. Yeah. That's just straight. Yeah, I think he will. I think if he will have gone by now. I mean, if he were going, he will have gone by now. I think. Yeah, I think we're going to need him. I think because obviously you need a big team for Premier League, so I think we will keep him. So yeah, I think definitely he'll be around. I don't rate him, so I'd rather him he goes. But yeah, I think he'll still be there.
Yes. Craig, what's your thoughts on that? Do you see him going or not?
Yeah, I think he'll be gone. But like Farke said, over the next couple of weeks, let's see what develops. And I think that means over the next couple of weeks, if Betis come back with the right offer, he'll be gone. It'll be the negotiations like we had with Longstaff. It's not right. Yeah. It's not right. It's not right. Right. Okay, that'll do.
For me, I think it's the option to buy because we know what happened last time with Mark Rocker. They had an option to buy for a certain amount, didn't do it, and then a couple of weeks later, it was a lot less than what they originally said. So we all know the dealings with that in the past, but again, could be a different situation now. For me, I said I'd keep, buy and sell, that I'd happily loan him out or sell him. In the Prem, I think it's too soon for him. I think he needs to go out on loan, either a high-end championship side or even a mid-championship side or to a European side, get that experience and then assess next year. But that's just my take. Craig, anything else that you'd like to add before we end this?
I'll wish me luck tomorrow in the Creators Cup.
Oh, yes.
I'll come and say hello.
Best of luck.
Today or tomorrow, depending on when this comes out. Obviously, we are recording this on Saturday.
We're recording this Saturday evening, so...
Whenever I get around to putting it out there, if you listen to it beforehand, wish him luck. Good luck, Craig.
Good luck.
Johnny, you in it as well, aren't you?
Sorry?
Are you there as well or not?
I'm undecided yet. I've had a day at the footy today, so I might be on husband duty tomorrow. I don't know if I can get 2 days in a row, but I'll try my best. Craig.
bring the family down.
Yeah. I tried to take wife to guys today. She's having none of it.
Well, there's not just football. It's a family day out thing. There's entertainment on for families, so they're aware. Yeah. I'm bringing my family down. So
yeah, I'll try her after this. I'll see.
Right, we'll leave that there, guys. Johnny, thanks for joining.
No
Craig,
worries.
thanks for joining as always. And let us know in the comments if you agree with any of our statements or you disagree with us. The more the comments, the better. See you next time.
Ciao.
Bye.